Hi, my name is Abhinav Lohia. I'm the Director of Global Business Development at Golden Gate Global. Golden Gate Global is a US CIS licensed regional center headquartered in San Francisco, California. I've been involved with the EB-5 industry for over 10 years. I started my career as an EB-5 attorney right out of law school, and later on, I became a licensed finance professional and have been counseling clients about the EB-5 visa program. My aim is to assist EB-5 investors in assessing whether the EB-5 visa route is the right way to go about the US immigration. And if it is, I want to help them navigate the EB-5 visa program so that they can successfully attain their immigration goals. In this video, I will be speaking about the EB-5 visa process. EB-5 visa process is a multi-stage process, and I will be going over the following. First step is how to prepare for your EB-5 visa filing. Second, application process for investors who are residing outside the United States. This includes filing application for a conditional green card, preparing for the consulate interview, and finally, filing an application for removal of conditions. The process varies for applicants who are residing within the United States. And we will be discussing about filing application for a conditional green card, also concurrently filing application for adjustment of status, receipt of the green card and work authorization, and finally, removing conditions. And of course, EB-5 is not only about immigration. It is about preservation of your capital and how to be eligible to get your capital back. So we are starting with the process for applicants who are residing outside the United States. The first step for any EB-5 visa application is documenting your source of funds. USCIS is not just interested in your capital. They want to make sure that your funds are earned legally and you are able to explain sources of every dollar that you are investing in the project. Once you are able to document your source of funds with the assistance of a US licensed immigration attorney, the next step is to choose a project and make an investment. After investing, you will receive a receipt from the regional center documenting your investment in the EB-5 project. Once that is done, your attorney will file an application for a conditional green card. Now, at this stage, it is all theoretical. USCIS wants to look at whether your funds were earned legally, and second, whether the business plan of the project that you're investing in meets the requirements of immigration law. It takes about 18 to 24 months for this application to get adjudicated. After that, you receive an approval of your application for a conditional green card. Once you receive this approval, your case will get transferred from USCIS to National Visa Center. And in about 6 to 8 months, you will be appearing for a consulate interview. At this interview, you can be asked questions like, where did you invest your capital? What is the nature of the project, which includes the asset class? They can also ask you about what is the latest update on the project. The adjudicator can also ask you questions about how the funds were sourced and invested in the project. Once you appear for an interview, they will stamp the passport with an immigrant visa, and you have 6 months to enter the United States. The day you set foot in the United States, your conditional green card gets activated. Now, as I had mentioned, this process is a multi-stage process. So the first step is USCIS is just testing you out on the theoretical aspect of your application, which is the source of funds narrative and the business plan. Now, to make sure that your funds were invested in the project for which the business plan was submitted, and it resulted in creation of 10 American jobs, you are required to file for removal of conditions. So 21 months after you get your conditional green card, and before the expiration of 24 months, your attorney will file an application for a removal of conditions. Now, in this application, they're testing the practical aspect of things. They want to see a clear trail from your funds that were held in an escrow account were finally deployed in the project for which the business plan was submitted. The second thing they want to see is that the funds were actually spent and resulted in creation of at least 10 American jobs per investor. And once you've overcome that hurdle, you will be issued an unconditional green card. Now, typically, it takes about 30 to 36 months. USCIS realizes that they are taking extensive time to issue this unconditional green card. Therefore, they have started extending conditional green card by 48 months the day you file your application for removal of conditions, so that there is no gap in your status. I would also like to highlight that there's really no difference between a conditional green card and an unconditional green card. Your obligations, your rights, responsibilities, everything is the same between the two green cards. It is only a matter of checking whether you have fulfilled the obligations under the EB-5 visa program, that is investing the minimum required investment amount, that's $800K in targeted employment areas and $1,050,000 in non-TEAs. And the second thing, your investment resulted in creation of 10 American jobs. It doesn't matter where you're residing, whether it's outside the United States or in the United States, your investment amount remains the same, and your obligation to create these 10 American jobs is also the same. Now, let's move on to the process for applicants based in the United States. Again, you have to start with documenting your source of funds. I cannot emphasize enough how important this step is. USCIS is obsessed with knowing where your funds came from. It goes beyond your tax returns, your bank account statements. It goes deeper. They need to know where the funds originated. So you have to work with the best of the best attorneys to document your source of funds. And once invested, again, you have to go ahead and invest in a project that you are comfortable with. Now, things change when it comes to applicants who live in the United States. Per the new laws that were enacted on March 15, 2022, applicants residing in the United States can concurrently file for adjustment of status along with their application for a conditional green card. What does that mean? Now, if you're outside the US, you file your application for a conditional green card, and then you have to appear for a consulate interview. However, if you're in the United States on a valid status, you can file your application for a conditional green card and concurrently file for adjustment of status, which is your way of telling the government that you want to move from your current visa status to a green card. And this application gives you the right to live in the United States till you get a green card, whether your underlying visa status remains valid in the future. Also, you can file for a work authorization. So in about 6 months' time, you will receive a work authorization. You can continue to live in the United States, whether or not your underlying status is valid, till the time you get a green card. Finally, in 18 to 24 months from then, you will receive your conditional green card. Now, historically, it's been really rare that USCIS has conducted an interview prior to issuing a conditional green card if the applicant is residing within the United States. Now, the next step remains the same. You still have to show the practical aspect to USCIS that your funds were actually invested in the project for which the business plan was submitted, and it resulted in creation of 10 American jobs. Once that is done, again, it takes about 30 to 36 months for issuance of unconditional green card. However, your conditional green card is extended by 48 months, so there is no gap in your status. Now, we understand that EB-5 visa program is not only about immigration. It is about preserving your capital and repaying it when the time is due and you're eligible. To be eligible to receive your EB-5 funds back, 2 criteria need to be achieved. 1, you should complete 2 years as a conditional green card holder. And second, since your funds go in the form of a loan in an EB-5 project, that loan term needs to expire. Typically, the loan term is a minimum of 5 years and can be extended to 7 years. So if you get a conditional green card in about 3 years, you become eligible in 5 years and the loan term expires, you'll get your money back immediately. But let's say if you get an approval of your conditional green card in 4 years and the loan term expires in 5 years, your funds need to remain invested for the 6th year before you can get your money back. I hope this was helpful, and please watch out for my future videos about the EB-5 visa program. Thank you.